First competitive game coming up, Tom. How's it feel for the weekend?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's always exciting to be at a new club, and you want to play the games. I only got a bit of game time in pre-season, so it's exciting to get out there competitively. Obviously, there were some fans at Northampton, which was nice to see, and hopefully Welsh derby we can get a full Rodney parade.
What are you expecting that derby experience to be like?
Tough. If you saw their pre-season results, they beat Wasps away, who were pretty much full hit. They've had some good results and they've got a good team, but so have we. We've had a good pre-season. Boovy's recruited well. Was a good buzz in the squad, and hopefully if it can be a good derby, it's good for Welsh rugby as a whole.
How do you see this league going? It's going to be different to the one that you played in the last few years.
Yeah, it's going to take me probably a season or two to find my feet in it. I'm used to the Prem, and I could probably tell you how every Prem team plays and which hotels we stay in and all that. I got used to it, but for me, it's exciting. It's my first season in a new league, and it's a new season of the whole thing, isn't it? So no one really knows. The South African teams are in, which is obviously exciting, but the rest of them have been around for a while in the old Pro 14. So I just try and tap into everyone else's knowledge and try and figure out what's coming. Obviously, with the Welsh teams, I play with them at Wales, so you know quite a lot about it.
It was a big decision for you to leave, Tom, Exeter. What are your thoughts now, a couple of days before the season starts?
Yeah, I've had a great. I owe everything. I owe my career to Exeter really, and Rob. He picked me up from the champ and gave me 7 years. My first season, I played Wales. I went to 6 Prem finals. I finally got to win, and it was great to have that time. I didn't get to finish it on my terms. I didn't get that last game, which was frustrating. I tried every week to get fit and just couldn't, which was frustrating. But no, it's exciting. Me and the wife were expecting a child in the next 8 weeks, so her parents were in Cardiff, so it's exciting for that next part of my journey, and that coincides with coming here and the next journey.
And the tournament as a whole, 5 different countries. Going to get some getting used to it in terms of not just the playing style, but the whole concept of it. Yeah,
but it's probably less travelling for me. In Exeter, you travel 4 hours to every game, whereas here, I live in Cardiff, I'll be at the airport in 20 minutes and I could be anywhere in an hour. So travel-wise and that, it's not much different. But obviously, the different styles and learning how different teams play, but that's exciting, and that keeps you fresh and on edge and helps me develop as a player. I can't just get stuck into, it's Leicester away, I know it's coming, it's Sarries away, I've got the kick battle. For me, I've got to be a bit more switched on, and hopefully that sparks me up and gets the best out of me.
What are your impressions, Tom, of the squad?
Yeah, well, I knew quite a lot of them from Wales and playing there and around the place, but the young boys have really impressed me, to be fair. The young academy local lads have got a proper attitude and understanding, and they help drive the standards as much as the senior players. Like, speaking to Tips and Al and the boys before I came, they said it was a good place to be, and yeah, I've seen that with my own eyes now, and I'm enjoying it.
And how big a wrench was it then to leave Exeter, where you enjoyed such success?
To be in one place for a long time is obviously, you can get stuck in your way and you can stagnate. I don't think I did, but I saw it as a fresh challenge, a new league, and a way to progress myself and hopefully see this team grow as well. And when I went to Exeter, they'd never made the playoffs, and they developed, and I enjoyed being part of that journey to the success they had. And speaking to Boovy and the coaches here and the vision they've got and the young players balanced with the old, it's exciting here, and hopefully we can build and go on that journey here as well.
What are your impressions of Duncan as first team coach there?
He was one of the main reasons I signed, to be honest. I met him in the Principality Stadium, and I think the first thing he told me was how bad I was. He showed me my worst parts of my game, and that made me want to sign there. It's the same as what Rob Baxter did at Exeter. He showed me where he thought I could improve and where I could work on, and for me that excites me. And yeah, everyone who knows Dunks, he's a top bloke and he's the joker and everything, but he's also there. If he needs to tell you, he'll tell you straight, and he's got that balance. He's been there, he understands it, and the enthusiasm he's got as a coach is amazing, and yeah, it drives the squad really.
And what ambitions, Tom, have you still got left in the game?
Me? I'm still young. I'm only 7 years into my career. I started late. I've got a lot of ambition still, and obviously I want to try and win silverweight here. I've come to a new league. I still want to play at the highest level I can, but for me, I see I'm not even half the potential I can be in my eyes. I said I became the best Exeter player I felt I could be, but I'm nowhere near the best rugby player I can be, and hopefully working with the coaches here, those new inputs, the new drive, I can accelerate my game as well.
You came as one of 3 Exeter players really to the Ospreys. What can we expect from the other guys, Alex, Cuthbert and Elvis?
Well, you saw with Cuffy at Exeter when he was fit, he played, and he was integral to that team. He had an awful run of injuries, but hopefully that's behind him, and he'll just drive a standard on and off the pitch. He's brought a lot of the culture from Exeter and tried to influence that here as well, but he's a workhorse, and he'll run all day and run flat out all day, and that's great, and it adds another depth to the squad here. Elvis, he's not as old as the number says. He's 38, but he's just an up and down hooker, set piece, hit hard, tackle, and whatever the club asks him or the boys, he'll do, and he's a great team man to have around.
That's great, Tom. Hope the season goes really well for you.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks very much.
Hi Thomas, Alex here. Hope you're well. You talked about maybe improving your game. You're still young in rugby age because you started late. What are some of the areas that you're looking to improve your game? Because you have got you've got 57 caps at test level, so to be saying you can still improve is quite an interesting statement.
But if you stay still, you'll get overtaken. That's it, isn't it? And obviously, I don't want to. My strengths, I want to keep improving them, but it's the other parts of the game: the ball carrying, the handling, the involvements in the game. Modern rugby's changing. They've pretty much got rid of 5 metre scrums now, haven't they, with the new law? So hopefully, I've got more energy to add other stuff to my game, and I've tried to add stuff every year. And with a new system of attack and a new way of playing, then that adds more strings to my bow, and hopefully more skill sets that I can evolve. And yeah, if I find myself in the position, I want to have the skills to execute it, and that's the main thing.
Is a big part of that sort of desire from yourself, obviously the style that Wayne's trying to play at with Wales, is asking different things of type 5 forwards? Yeah,
massively. I mean, obviously your set piece is your bread and butter. If you can't hit a scrum and know your role, you probably won't play, but I'm just trying to evolve every day, and that confidence of ball in hand. Ospreys and Wales are playing an attacking brand and an exciting brand of rugby, and I think with crowds being away and then coming back, and rugby as a sport, it's got to grow to be more of a spectacle, and that attacking brand of rugby is what both teams I hope to be involved in are playing, and I've got to try and contribute more as a tight head. I can't just hit rucks and stay out of the way anymore.
You only just joined the club, Thomas, but obviously Gareth Anscombe's a guy that you've known for a long time. Can you just give us an insight into what it was like for everyone at the Ospreys to see him back the other day after everything he's been through?
It's, for any player who's been out for 2 years, to see him get through 40 minutes of rugby or 35 minutes is amazing. And yeah, he's a bit chopsy now in training. He's found his voice again. He's typical 10, but you'd rather have that, and it's just nice to see him out there and directing the play and getting that spring back in his step. Obviously, he was starting 10 in 2019 for Wales, and with COVID and stuff, he's had a torrid time. Fair play to him and all the backroom staff here, and they've got him through those dark times and got him back out there. And hopefully, we as a team, we can give him the platform and let him express himself and get back to that form, because it helps us as well.
And has it created a real sort of feel-good factor amongst the players? I guess it could only have done that, really, because you're all rooting for him.
Yeah, obviously, whenever a player comes back after a long injury, you're rooting for them, and a 10's a pivotal position. We've got some other big stars who are going to hopefully come back in the next few months as well. And yeah, the boys who stepped up last year have taken their chance, but to have Chicken come back on top of that just adds to that depth chart. And as the competition, and we've got 2 6-day turnarounds, so that squad's going to be paramount at the start. And yeah, it's exciting when you run against 2 teams. It's 2 very competitive teams, which that competition in house drives performance on pitch as well. So it's exciting.
And just lastly for me, can I ask you about Michael Collins? With yourself and Gareth coming back, people haven't spoken about him, but he looks a very capable midfield operator. That kick he put through at Northampton was, look difficult, but he made it look pretty easy. I mean, what's he brought to the environment?
He's just typical Kiwi, isn't he? He's got the skills, and yeah, he's fitting straight away. He's a good bloke, which always helps. And I think Boovy's made a big point of making a squad that get on and have common goals. And he's come in, bought in, worked hard, and yeah, it's an exciting backline with him and Woggo, and we got a lot of ball players in there, and hopefully we can implement the rugby we want with him.
The Hadleigh Parkes Mark 2, do you think?
Oh, he's better than Parksy.
Don't tell him that.
No.
Good luck for the season.
Cheers, thank you.
Hi Thomas.
Hiya.
Just the one for me. Obviously started the season now with 2 big derbies, which is not not what normally happens in this season. So how are you looking forward to that? And obviously with the fans coming back as well, how important are these games, especially with the fans who are obviously going to expect 2 wins?
Yeah, obviously you want to play in the local derbies. That's what rugby's about. And for my first 2 potential games to be derbies, I can't ask for any more really. I just hope the fans get behind it of both teams and make the atmosphere, and hopefully both teams put on a decent performance. If you look at the pre-season, all the teams are playing an exciting brand, so hopefully it doesn't go back to that dull game that it can be. Hopefully we can put a performance and the fans can get behind it as well.